Freeman.
Mr. Speaker, could I start by thanking the Minister and the Lord Chancellor and Prime Minister for gripping this as quickly as they have, and put on record that I know for a fact that the current Minister, as a former backbencher, the member for Thirsk, and indeed the member for Cheltenham, were advocates as backbenchers on this before they were in office, and I pay tribute to my former colleague, the Minister for Sutton and Cheam, who gripped it following his election in 2015 and his role as Minister. I was never Minister for the Post Office, Mr. Speaker, but I remember as a Minister in the department being asked to cover for an absent Minister, and when refusing to just read out the speech but ask for a proper day of briefings from officials and asked to meet Paula Venables, I was told she'd refused to meet me without her lawyer. And I want to highlight that this saga raises some very important issues about scrutiny, accountability, responsibility in our public office and in public administration, difficult questions that this House must tackle. So I want to ask, Mr. Speaker, firstly, if the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, Lord Chancellor, Cabinet Office could look at the wider lessons from this appalling scandal about the failures of accountability, scrutability in our system of government and this House's responsibility ultimately to the people of this country to make sure that government serves the people, not the other way round. And my specific question is on the point raised by my friend, the member from North Norfolk. How much money do we think was stolen off the postmasters, and could he look at some sort of corporate fraud action to get this money back? It was money that was taken off us, taken off them, and we should get it back from the company that took it.
Minister.
Well, I can thank him for his remarks and his question. I'm pleased to say that Paula Venables has handed back her CV. I think it was absolutely the right thing to do. I think as part of the inquiry, of course, at some point we will identify who is responsible, both individuals and organisations. Clearly, in terms of corporate fraud, the beneficiary here, to some extent, was the Post Office itself. The Post Office has had to be funded by the government to make these payments, of course. So it's difficult to see how we would get money back at the Post Office to do that. But certainly other organisations, such as Fujitsu, and that's something that obviously I've talked about previously and something we'll look at once the inquiry has concluded. I think in terms of scrutiny, I think many ministers will probably ask themselves questions based on what's happened over this, and officials indeed, that it's our job to ask the key questions at the right time and not necessarily take the first answer we are given, to push back and make sure that we are getting to the bottom of an issue. There were failures here, there's no question about it. I'm not going to identify who failed, but I think lots of people will be asking themselves those serious questions. And indeed, the inquiry itself may well identify where we could have done things better.